The Galactic Empire had long dominated the stars, its fleets of warships spreading across countless systems. Civilizations trembled at its name, its soldiers feared across the cosmos. Alien species had learned to respect their might, understanding that the Empire crushed all who dared to oppose them. But none of them, none of the seasoned generals and strategists, had ever anticipated humanity. General Vrexicor of the Zephyrian Legion stared at the holographic display before him, his massive hands clenched in frustration. His fleet had been prepared for a swift conquest. The humans were primitive, their weapons outdated, their technology inferior. This was supposed to be an easy victory. A few skirmishes, a few token human forces to be crushed underfoot, and then the galaxy would bend to the Empire's will. But what Vrexicor saw in front of him was nothing short of madness. The human ship, the Vigilant, was a relic, a seemingly unassuming freighter modified with technology the Zephyrians couldn't even begin to comprehend. And yet, it had single-handedly obliterated an entire squadron of Zephyrian warships. No tactics, no superior firepower, just raw, unpredictable, almost primal combat instincts. His mind raced. How could this happen? The Vigilant was no warship. It was an old merchant vessel, meant to haul cargo across distant sectors. It didn't even have the firepower of a cruiser, but its crew, humans, had turned it into a weapon of devastating force. Vrexicor, shouted one of his subordinates, snapping him out of his fury. The humans are attacking again. The Vigilant has just engaged our second fleet in the Pithar system. His heart sank. How were they doing this? How were these humans managing to defeat them at every turn? Vrexicor's eyes flickered to the data streams on the screen, showing the battle unfold in real time. The humans weren't just fighting. They were outthinking the Zephyrians. They had adapted. Where the Zephyrians relied on their overwhelming strength, the humans fought with cunning, exploiting every weakness with precision. Deploy the Vindicator cannons, Vrexicor ordered, his voice laced with frustration. We will crush them once and for all, but it was too late. The Vigilant, with its nimble movements and unexpected strategies, launched another barrage. Its weapons, though small, packed an unexpected punch, striking at critical systems on the Zephyrian ships. One by one, the alien warships faltered, their shields flickering and collapsing under the relentless barrage. General, the Vigilant has taken down the flagship. The voice of his tactical officer was filled with disbelief. They've done it again. Vrexicor's fists slammed into the console, sending sparks flying. His mind struggled to comprehend the nightmare unfolding before him. How were these humans doing this? They were supposed to be weak, nothing more than a primitive species scattered across a single planet. They weren't supposed to be able to fight back like this. They weren't supposed to be this strong. In desperation, Vrexicor ordered a retreat, but it was too late. The humans, relentless and determined, pursued with a vengeance. Their ships, though outnumbered and outgunned, fought with a ferocity that the Zephyrians couldn't match. Their tactics were unpredictable, like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. The human soldiers, their warriors, didn't care about overwhelming strength or advanced technology. They relied on instinct, heart, and a sheer will to survive. That was enough. What is this madness? Vrexicor seethed. Why are they so overpowered? The words echoed in his mind. Overpowered. His people had conquered countless worlds, exterminated entire species, and crushed rebellions that spanned across millennia. And yet, here was this insignificant human race, an ancient species, no more advanced than the simplest of primates, taking on his empire and winning. Vrexicor's fury reached its peak. He could not allow this to continue. But every new encounter with humanity proved to him that this was no fluke. The humans were not just fighting for survival. They were fighting because they could. They were not the inferior beings the Empire had thought them to be. They were warriors born of adversity and hardship, shaped by the fires of countless generations. They had become the ultimate predators, their resolve unwavering. Send every available fleet, Vrexicor barked, his voice a low growl. We will crush them with everything we have. But even as his orders went out, a small, calm part of his mind, one that had never before questioned his military superiority, whispered a terrifying truth. Even if they sent everything they had, it might not be enough. The humans were too unpredictable, too dangerous. They weren't just a species fighting for survival. They were a force that the galaxy had never seen before. Far across the galaxy, aboard the Vigilant, Captain Kira Matthews stared out at the stars. She had watched as her crew faced down enemy after enemy against impossible odds. The Zephyrians had underestimated them again. She smiled, a mixture of pride and something darker, more primal. "Captain, we've received a message from the Zephyrian High Command," Lieutenant Harris reported, stepping up to her side. Kira's grin widened. "Let me guess. They're sending everything they have at us?" "Yes, ma'am." She chuckled. "Tell them we'll be waiting. The humans don't lose, Lieutenant. Not today." And as the crew of the Vigilant prepared for the oncoming battle, one thing was certain. The humans were here to stay, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The Zephyrian fleet came charging forward, a tidal wave of destruction aimed at the tiny human ship. But for all their power, for all their numbers, they couldn't match the one thing humanity possessed, the sheer will to fight back. And that, Vrexacor realized with bitter clarity, made them the most overpowered species the galaxy had ever encountered.